Welcome back. It's Angie. Hi, if you are new, and if you're not new also. But welcome everyone. We are going to swatch a lot of paint today from Daniel Smith. We're doing all of the PremaTeks that I am aware of. I have the dot cards from Daniel Smith that I purchased myself. That being said, all of the materials that you see on my channel so far and anything previous to this date of recording, all of that was purchased from myself, not sponsored. So if you would like to support the channel and help make it possible for me to get more materials to try out for you guys, all of that is in the description below. Let's enjoy the swatching serenity. That's what I'm calling it. I'm going with it. The swatching serenity. Here we go. Now, it might be maybe not as serene for some of you. I did a poll asking if you guys like the really loose swatches or really cute little organized designs, and it was pretty much like 50-50 for a long while. So I'll try and mix it up a little bit, but we're starting our swatches off with Rhodonite Genuine, and just buckle up for me really trying very hard not to butcher any of these names. Now, if you saw my other Daniel Smith video that was over a year ago now, which is crazy, that was my first dipping toes into the water of Daniel Smith, and it showed. It really did. With me not knowing how to say things, not knowing much about watercolor in general, and everyone was so kind to gently correct me in some of those, and a lot of you actually were just really enthusiastic about the paints and just glad I got to experience them, which was really sweet. So now that I have another year under my belt here, the majority of the paints that I have in half pans because that's just my preference. I just work better with those. However, I feel like I'm missing out on the joys of Daniel Smith because they're in tubes, and I haven't really added much to the collection that I have of Daniel Smith. So while I'm doing this series, I'm also looking for ones that I just have to have. If I feel like I need to at this point, I don't need to, I really want to, have a Daniel Smith custom palette like I've done with my main palette. So that's really pretty. So that was Rhodonite Genuine. And that was the only PremaTek on this card, so we're going to set it aside. And also, by the way, there are so many that they don't all fit on this. So we're going to switch papers in a little bit. We got a long way to go before that. I believe there are 36 paints that we are trying today. I'm going to add some water to these dots really quick and let them sit. Here we go. So I currently have another poll about which types of Daniel Smith watercolors you would like to see next for the next video. So I will be looking at that later tonight to see what you guys want. I am eventually going to go through all of these, but it's always nice to know what you guys like, what you're interested in. So, and the other half of my weekend is I'm trying so desperately to finish a zine. I feel like I've been talking about it for forever, probably because I have. I'm still working on it, guys. I promise. I feel like 2025 was kind of rough, making it through and getting things done, but we made it. Okay, so the next one is Serpentine Genuine. Now, I think, if I remember correctly, which sometimes does not happen, but maybe it will this time, I swatched this one, and several of you said that was just not the greatest swatch, that this paint does more than what it did in my video, so hopefully I'll do a better job on this one and you will feel validated and I will get to experience all that is Serpentine Genuine. It is a really pretty color. Kind of reminds me of like a sap green, but it's thicker and I believe it should granulate. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit more paint to the left side here. There's plenty of water. And we will see what that does. I got a little bit of water in a couple of places here. By the time I get to it, it'll be dry, so no worries. Alright, next we have Green Apatite Genuine. I apologize that you cannot really see the dot card, but I wanted the focus to be on the swatches, and there's only so much I can zoom in with this kind of setup. Ooh, that's really thick and dark, which is good. I appreciate that. I really enjoy opaque watercolors. Now, the things that I am looking for as I am deciding on what to put in a custom palette of Daniel Smith paints is one, they need to be lightfast. So I do sell my work. I really don't want to keep track in my head of which ones I can use and which ones I probably shouldn't. So in general, I only purchase ones with the highest rating of light fastness. And originally I thought, before I looked at the dot cards, that would weed out a lot of paints. And I was wrong. There are a lot of Daniel Smith paints that are, at least they claim to be, very light fast. Now, I remember when I was just getting into watercolor, seeing a bunch of videos about how some Daniel Smith ratings are not the most accurate. Specifically, I remember a lot about Moon Glow. So if you are amongst the more knowledgeable of the Daniel Smith paints, and there are some that have a high light fast rating, and it's, you know, kind of proven otherwise, please let me know. I know some other people have done their own lightfast tests. All right, next one is zoisite. And also, for those of you that are new, I do have a Substack, and what I do after these swatches is take a photo of it and make a PDF that you can download off of Substack. And it's free. I don't have anything behind a paywall over there as of today's recording. There was one lovely person that decided to do a paid subscription to my Substack, which I am very grateful for. Again, no pressure to do that, but it does really help out. And it says very clearly that it is a donation, like you're not paying for anything extra as of this point. But that is another way to support the channel and testing out materials specifically, because that gets expensive. And also just producing videos costs money too. The subscriptions that I have to make this possible, cost money. Anyways. Oh, and also on Substack, there's a lot of other fun things on there too for you to enjoy, not just the swatch cards. I'm getting into bronzite genuine now. Bronzite genuine. So I try to put on there fun seasonal things, some crafts you can do, side projects that I have. That's pretty. Make sure the next one is burnt bronzite. I almost dipped into that. It's been a little bit since I've mixed up the paints on my swatch cards, but I wouldn't put it past me to do it again. There's a lot of colors on here. This one just doesn't load as much as some of the others. Well, maybe it's just really light. I like it. I'm not sure how much I would use it. Just knowing my subject matters, and it's not one I gravitate toward, but I do really like it. It's pretty. All right, the first row is done. We're on a roll. Let's go on to burnt bronzite. Now this one I probably would go for a little bit more than the bronzite. There's something about earthy reds that I really like. I feel like this is almost leaning toward a potter's pink, but not quite as pink. And I don't think I own any potter's pink. How I managed that, I don't know. It's such a popular color. Oh, I just rinsed in the wrong one. It will be fine. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's one where you can correct me on the pronunciation here. I'm going to look at the dot card just to make sure. Is it Yavapai? Yavapai genuine. My sister-in-law really loves geology. And I wonder if she would be like, yeah, Yavapai, haven't you heard of that? I know she watches my videos too. It's either going to be that or like Yavapai. And she's going to go into some deep dive Google search. And we'll probably have like a 20 slide PowerPoint presentation on the origins of Yavapai. I'm exaggerating. Or I might have just given her an idea, and I will end up sitting through a 20 slide PowerPoint on Yavapai. That's just slightly warmer. Interesting. Okay. Next up, we have garnet. I know that one. I can say garnet. Where is it on? There it is. Some of these reactivate in like less than a second, and it's just, man, that's crazy. Now, if this rings true for all the PremaTeks and they reactivate really nicely, and I can put them in half pans and let them dry and they're fine, it's a whole different ballgame. The current collection of Daniel Smith that I've had, maybe it was just the batch, I don't know. Like, I put them in half pans and they dried to really hard cakes that I almost, like, some of them I couldn't use at all. So that was partially why I just stopped using them. But if the PremaTeks don't do that, and they are really lovely, I really like these so far. Garnet is really nice, besides being easy to say. That's really pretty. I'm going to keep that one in mind. Okay. That's a lot of consonants. Red fuchsite. That's what I'm sticking with, is fuchsite. This one I had trouble with also because the actual paint covered the name. I had to do some research to see what it was. I had to find the name. Seems to be a little more transparent. It's very pretty. But because it's more transparent, I'm probably not going to include that one. Not that there's, again, those of you that are new to watercolor, some people absolutely prefer the more transparent colors for very good reasons. This is purely personal preference. And I do more almost like a mixed media use of watercolors. I layer things on top. And so the more opaque colors tend to work best for what I do. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with transparent paints. I do like that color though. All right, Minnesota Pipestone. Where are you? There you are. They're not all in a line all together on the dot cards. They're all mixed in with the other paints. So if you're wondering, like, it's just the next one in line, like, what's the deal? Like, they're all over mixed in on the card. So I do have to do a little bit of searching to get to the next one. That is also very pretty. More transparent, but like, oh. I think I like that one more than the red fuchsite. Oh, I like that color. Okay. If you hear little noises in the background, that's my bird just kind of wandering around. All right, red jasper genuine is, there it is. I think I like that one even more. Maybe add a little bit of water to that side. There we go. And some really nice earthy colors here. All right, next we have Hematite Burnt Scarlet Genuine. I feel like there's a lot going on in that name. These are some really nice browns. Which, in hearing myself say that, I don't know. Like in any other context, that would be kind of a weird sentence. All right. Is there some separation going on here? Get a little bit more of the paint. How interesting. That's such a nice texture. Get some water in there, see what it does. It may have been a little much, but look at that. There's definitely some stuff settling into the crevices of the paper. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Next is Sedona Genuine. Ooh. That's nice. It's almost like a terracotta kind of color. I love how bright that is in the wash. Okay. We'll see how that dries. Sometimes paints get dull when they dry. It reminds me of Daylily from Deep Deep Light. That's really pretty. All right, next is Primatek Genuine. I do have this one. I've used it a lot. And I enjoy it very much. It's a nice color. I haven't used it in a while. Gosh, that's pretty. This is one of my favorites from Daniel Smith. Gotta be careful here. Like the little dots are activating so much, so fast that they're like sliding around the page. It just kind of took off. It's like, now you need to stay by your name. Thanks. All right, Tiger's Eye Genuine is the last one I have for this card. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I definitely use colors that are close to this, but they're more of a green. Either that or like a French ochre, if it leans more yellow. I'm not sure I like this one too much. But again, personal preference. Okay. Put this dot card somewhere else. Get the next one. put a little bit of paint on these. Make sure I get the... Yep. Alright, this next one, man. I feel like I'm going to trip on the name. But we'll see what happens. I feel like so far I'm doing okay. I haven't had any glorious fumbles yet. That I know of. But I'm not even halfway through the dot cards yet, so there's still time. Still time for mistakes and for you to enjoy a really good chuckle. Hopefully. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a good time. If you're having a good time, it's a great time to boop the like button while you're waiting for the swatches. If you have a hype, that always helps too. Did I skip any? I don't think I did. Okay. Alright. This is Primatek. Genuine. I think what's getting at me is just what it looks like visually. When I say it out loud, Primatek is not the most horrible to try to say. I do sound kind of... I sound ridiculous to myself saying it. Maybe because I've never heard it before. And got this beautiful purple color from Primatek. I wonder if it's got like a pure Primatek. How many different ways could I possibly pronounce this one? It's a really nice, almost like a lilac kind of color. That's lovely. Let's see if I can get it a little more opaque on the left side. But it's pretty transparent. That's as much as I can get it. Alright. I'm hoping I can make it through all these before the sun goes down. Just noticed outside that time is not on my side right now. Alright, this is Amethyst Genuine. Little more blue leaning. Now I may not be as excited about these just because generally I don't really use purple. That's a nice paint. It says it's pretty light fast too. I think I tend to just have the impression that purples don't last. I don't know where I picked that up, but it says these are fairly light fast. Okay, this is Sugilite. That's my best guess. Ooh, this is more gray. The dot for this one is pretty small, so I'll get what I can. Oh, I like that. That is pretty. Let me see if I can get more of the paint. it is a transparent paint. Like the rating for this is like, yep, this is transparent. And my apologies for not having like all of the information on the card. It would take me so long to write everything. And Daniel Smith does have all the information about the paints on the website. So that's such a pretty gray. I like that. Okay. This is kyanite. Ooh. A little bit more muted blue. I like this one a lot. What's it rated? Okay. All of these, I think all of the PremaTeks, excuse me, I think all of the PremaTeks have the highest light fast rating, except for I think one or two, but I forget which ones. Oh, okay, that's really pretty. I don't even really care that it's transparent. That's lovely. I really like that one. Okay, Sodalite. Genuine is next. There it is, okay. Ooh, that is a deep blue, I think. Let's get some water in that. Wow. Okay, before I get my hopes up, what is this rated? Okay. It is lightfast. Oh, these two blues are stunning. But now one of my cats is politely crying for attention outside. He doesn't, well, he starts polite. Like, it sounds like, excuse me. And then it escalates to him jumping against the door. Hopefully he doesn't start that up during the video. I like Sodalite. Okay, we're down to the last two rows on this one. Remember, we got 6 more after these. Lots to choose from. Let's go to lapis lazuli. Lazuli. If I can find it on the page. There it is. Man, I let water sit on it and the whole dot came off the page. Just on the brush. There we go. Okay. Very transparent. It's a nice color. There we go. Let's try Mayan Blue Genuine. I think I have this one. Nope. There it is. Really nice icy blue. Let's get a little bit more on here. All right, now we have Kingman Green Turquoise Genuine. I like how nicely this flows. It's not a color I gravitate toward. But it is nice. Very nice. All right. Now we have SB Turquoise Genuine. It says SB on the card. I don't know what it stands for. I don't really lean toward the cobalt or turquoise too often, unless it's a dark turquoise. I love a dark turquoise. All right. Now, where's the inflection on this one? Is it a Amazonite? Sure, a Amazonite Genuine. I don't know where the inflection goes on that one. That's pretty. This is probably one you would use for mixing more. At least that's what I would use it for, is mixing. But I've gotten a little spoiled with convenience colors. I can mix colors, I just... I don't know. I think part of it too is just, it's really tempting just to see a pretty color and be like, I want that. And then you end up with a lot of convenience colors eventually. It is good to know your color wheel though. Color theory, always helpful. All right. And our last row on this page, we've got Blue Apatite Genuine. Ooh. I like this one. I just like the darker colors. You can always do a wash of them. I do have bright colors too. It's just I'm very picky with them. I really like this blue. I really want to know at the end of this video what your top maybe 3 PremaTeks are. If you're going to pick 3 PremaTeks, what are your top 3? I'm really loving the blues, the browns and the blues on this. We haven't even gotten to the greens, and green is my favorite. All right. I'm assuming there's a few greens in here. We have Fuchsite Genuine next. I'm looking for it. There it is. It's almost kind of a minty green. That's really transparent too. Makes me think of toothpaste. All right, now we have Diopside Genuine. There it is. Oh, interesting. Look at that green. That's such a vibrant green. I'm almost like I like to get more muted colors. This is just so vibrant. It's a very strong green. A very rich green. Next we have Jadeite Genuine. This is very dark. In mass tone, it almost looks like a black. Wow, okay. I feel like this is very, like, dramatic. It's an interesting color. Or just how the paint performs. Wow. We'll see how it dries. It might dry lighter. That is really deep. All right, and the last one for this page is Burnt Tiger's Eye Genuine, which happens to be on a different dot card. So let's set this one aside. And add some water. Now, Tiger's Eye I was not that impressed with. We'll see what happens with this one. It's taking a little bit to activate, but might just be, yeah, it's a really transparent color. I don't think Tiger's Eye is for me. That's okay. Alright, so now we're done with this page. These will come back when they're dry at the end. I'm going to switch this out. I'll let you look at this for a moment while I put water on the rest of our dots. Is that all of them? I think I got all of them. Okay. We'll set this one aside to dry. I'm running out of space to put things. Okay. So the first one on this is Hematite Genuine. Interesting. I don't know if it's supposed to be that transparent or if it's just not activating right away. It says it's supposed to be semi-transparent. There we go. Okay. I wonder if this performs more like a Mars Black or something. That's what it looks like. I love using blacks like this that settle in other paints because it creates a really nice texture. Alright, next we have Hematite Violet Genuine. Okay, yeah, so this might be that these are different colors with hematite mixed in it, so that you get this texture kind of in the background of it. Okay, that's as opaque as that's gonna go. Yeah. Okay, this one's called Mummy Boite. I'm taking a guess at the pronunciation on that one. Ooh, much more opaque. Or at least it activates a lot easier. Yeah, it's not much more opaque, it's just that activated really easily. I feel like this one is really similar to some of the other earthy reds that were on at the start of the video. Next is, goodness, read my own writing here. Cyclerite Genuine. I don't think I wet this one, so. Ooh, I'm not sure I'm a fan. Yep. So it's just kind of beige and kind of granulates with almost like hematite. The next is Bloodstone Genuine, which now I'm very familiar with. Did a whole video, I think a live stream as well, using Bloodstone Genuine. And it's really hard to see on the video and even in person, but there is a very slight red to it. I mean, or almost purple, but it's so subtle that unless you're really looking for it, you're not going to see it. Or if you put black next to it, you might see it. And last but not least is Black Tourmaline. Where are you? There you are. I'm trying to work it. Not much is coming up. It's just a really transparent color. And there you have it. I'll come back when everything is dry and we'll take a look at the colors. All right, we are back. These are mostly dry. Guys, there are some surprises here now that everything is dry that I did not notice. I suspected when it was wet. But now that these are dry, a couple of things. It's really nice to see like the personality of some of these shining through with the granulation, the shifts in color now that they're dry. And some of these have a similar silver iridescent like shimmer to them. So bronzite, genuine, red fuchsite, Burnt Bronzite Genuine. Are there any others? Okay, those 3. Oh, and Kyantite. And any others? I think those are the only ones. There's a little bit of iridescence to them, which is interesting. I was not expecting that. So that was mixed in. I am really enjoying these darker blues. Definitely going to be looking at those for my palette. Now that Burnt Tiger's Eye and Cyclorite are dry, those are actually really pretty. I would still like them to be a little more opaque for me to choose them, but now that they're dry, I actually think they're really nice. There are a lot of fun picks here, so I hope you enjoyed taking a look at all of these. I really want to know what your favorites are. What are your top 3? And if you can't keep it to 3, I understand. Maybe top 5? If there's any other information you'd like to share about these, because I know some of you are really knowledgeable about the PremaTeks, feel free to share with the community below. There's also the community tab on my channel where you can actually post stuff there and have side discussions. I don't need to start the post for you to interact with it. You can make your own posts there on my channel, which is a fun way to kind of join in with the community. I'm waiting for the first person to overcome their shyness and post on there. But thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to continue with the Daniel Smith dot cards, and don't forget to vote for what you would like to see next week. So I will see you guys later. Have a good week.